Alright, so in this lecture, I'm gonna simply continue from where I ended the previous lecture. So the next thing we need to do is to go over to the MySQL databases, just as we did in the previous lectures. Let's click on it. Alright, so here we go. Now we are going to simply add the user we created in the previous lecture to the database that we created in the lecture before that lecture. Down here you have the section add user to database. So the first thing you want to do is to simply select the user that you created, and here it is already selected because I only have 3 users at the moment. So I'm gonna just leave this as it is, and you see also the database, it is also pre-selected because that's the recent database I created, and per automatic the cPanel chooses the latest created database. Anyway, when you click on add, you will be able to add the user to the database. So let's do that. And here it might get a little bit confusing because basically when it comes to databases, you are actually, and when adding a specific user, you have the option to give that specific user different privileges. So in our case, we basically want our user to do whatever he wants. But in bigger systems, you might want to assign users that are basically only able to update certain tables without deleting them. In other words, this user has the admin rights to do whatever he wants with the database. And in order to avoid any issues with our installer script later, I'm going just to choose all privileges and click on make changes. Alright, so user my new SIT underscore new user was added to database, and my SIT underscore alt new with the requester privileges. So I think I forgot to mention one thing, and it is that you can actually rename the user that you created. But I'm gonna leave this up to you, and you are free to play around with this as much as you want. So this is basically how you create a database, how you create a user, and how you add it to the database. So that's it for this lecture. Stay tuned.